Up Next. I remember that, I think because I wrote the riff to that while staying at the London Hotel in New York City. I think that's where that riff came from, because I think I recorded it on my iPhone, and then I sort of traveled around with it for a while on tour, and was just intrigued about how to play it, because you can play it in a couple of different places on the neck, but I arrived at a sort of a fingering that was sort of swinging and funky, and it's one of those songs that's got a visceral appeal to it. When you play it on guitar, it feels really good. And so I stuck it on that first batch of demos that were done for everybody around September, and did a whole big song around it, and didn't know where, as most demos, I don't know if people are going to respond positively to all the directions I take them in,
I think Joe and I outdid ourselves on this. It's got the strongest, meanest riff. It's got a pop chorus like you've never heard before. And it just hook. I wanted to open the album with it.
We actually brought in our production guy, Paul Binder. I'm gonna give Paul just one little plug on the Up Next, Who's Next? We brought Paul in for Attitude on the backgrounds there. Okay, Paul, you owe me now.
But that song, from what I can remember, survived entirely. Its arrangement is almost identical to the demo. I think they guys even went for the weird solo in the middle, which was very much like something would be on one of my solo records, which I thought was a really cool turnaround. And then it made more sense once I heard what Sam was singing about, because it's a dark song. I mean, it sounds up, but it's really a dark song, and it's about wondering if you're up next to die, And so I thought, well, now this weird solo section makes sense, because it shouldn't be just a straight ahead blues solo. It shouldn't be something pretty. It's got to be something a little disruptive. So it turned out to be a fabulous track, I think. The band sounds great, crazy on it. It's great.
It's just full of attitude. I love Sammy's lyric on it. When I arrive at the pearly gates, gonna have my flip-flops on, I check no bags, I got no carry-ons. I think that's some of the wittiest lyric of the whole album in that song.
Up Next is written for our manager, Carter, who died in the middle of making this record. And Carter has been the guy who signed me to my first record contract when I was thrown out of Montrose, and produced my first 3 albums, on Capitol, Musical Chairs, the Red Album, and 9 on 10 scale. Anyway, 4 albums and my live album, All Night Long. Carter, dear friend, became our co-manager with Mick Brigden, and he got cancer, and last minute got it diagnosed, got operated on immediately, and died. It was horrible. Carter was a songwriter. He was my co-writer on a lot of my life. When I write songs, we wrote Red together, we wrote Rock and Roll Weekend, some classic Sammy songs, Turn Up the Music. But on this album, I was bouncing all my lyrics off him. And he'd say, that sucks. He was really hard on me. He was beating me up constantly. After I came up with a good one, he's going, all right, So he was really my guy. No one knew Carter was sick. No one knew he was going to die that year. No one knew he was going to die that month. It was so crazy that it inspired this whole song. It's a dark subject about, when your time has come, like, who knows? It's like, you're lying in the sun, you might be the one, up next. Who's next? It's like, up next, it's kind of like a fast food joint or something. Number 44, guess what? You're next, And so I kind of made a joke about the pearly gates, about how I'm going to arrive at the pearly gates in a flip-flops and a pair of shades, and ask the choir if I can sing along, and it kind of, to me, it's funny when I hear this song, and it makes me feel good. But it's really about a horrible subject, And so I didn't get to bounce Up Next off of him, too, you know what I mean? But believe me, he would like that. That would be the kind of lyric he'd like. I don't know. This song's for Carter. That's what it's about.
Up